Hi guys. We are going to review chapter or module for lesson 4, so 4.4. So I am on page 97 if you want to follow along. What we're going to be doing is taking everything we've been learning about fractions and applying it all in these kind of higher order thinking word problems. So you really want to have your notes out and remember all those rules about combining fractions and multiplying fractions and dividing fractions, because you're going to have to process this really hard problem, figure out what operations to do, and then bring in your rules about fractions and just do that in the middle of this hard problem. So you don't want to be spending all your brain effort on deciphering your rules. You want to spend your brain on addressing this problem, and then once you get to the computation part, look at your notes and go, okay, if I'm adding, here's what the rules say. If I'm subtracting, here's what the rules say. If I'm multiplying or dividing, this is what I should be doing. Okay, so you're really at a place where you're practicing everything we've been learning. This might be a difficult lesson. If you really struggle with it, please email me and tell me which problems in particular, and I'll help you, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the example on page 97, and I'm going to do something I will call getting the numbers out of the words. So first, label your paper, solving multi-step. That's when you know you're in for a good problem right there. Multi-step problems with fractions. That W/ is with. I would advise to start using that because it's going to make you take your notes a little bit quicker, okay? Just kind of a side note. All right, so John is cooking. Now, I wish John was cooking something better than what he's cooking, because you all sent me these amazing recipes. Oh my gosh. And it made me hungry all week, by the way. And I think I'm going to start this weekend making some of your recipes. So I wish John was cooking something better than his lentils for lentil barley soup and lentil salad. Hopefully your recipes were better than that. So never mind what John is cooking, but we know he needs 3/4 cup of dried lentils. But let's write the 3/4 cup because that's the important part. So he needs that for his soup. For his salad, he needs 1.5 cups. Okay. Then what we find out is that John, apparently his kitchen is lacking in supplies, and he only has a 1/8 cup scoop. Come on, John, step it up here. He's obviously not a chef. This is all he's got. So, I mean, think about that. If you were in a kitchen and you knew how much you needed, but you don't have a 1/4 cup, you don't have a 3/4 cup, you don't have a 1/2 cup, you don't have a 1 cup, you have a 1/8 cup. That's all you are working with. Maybe you're on one of those cooking shows and they're like, haha, it's a math problem now, people. Okay, so that's what you're working with, a 1/8 cup. Very limited on the kitchen supplies. So we need to figure out, now listen very carefully to the way I say this, how many 1/8 cups go in to 3/4 cup, go in to 1.5 cups. Okay, so hopefully your brain immediately went, if I'm putting one value into another value, I am dividing. But for this problem, because it's multi-step, what we're going to do first is figure out how many cups of lentils we need all together, then put the 1/8 into it. So recap, we're going to add these two fractions. That'll be the total amount of lentils we need. And then we're going to divide that by 1/8, and we'll know how many of those cups we're going to need. Okay, so I'm going to erase this. We have a 3/4 and we have a 1.5. Okay, your brain should already be saying, we need to make this an improper fraction. So multiply and divide. Multiply and add, I'm sorry. So I have 3/4 cup plus 1 times 2 is 2, plus 1 is 3. Keep your denominator of 2. Now, this is where our rules start coming in. Well, our rules already came in up here. Okay, But that's what I mean. We have to really figure out what this problem is. It's a hard problem. There's many steps to it. We can't, every time we hit a step, go, oh shoot, now how do I make an improper fraction? Oh, and now how do I get common denominators? Oh, how, you see how that would draw this problem really far out. So you want to have your notes in front of you. And that way, oh, improper fraction. Okay, now we're combining. The signs are the same, so we're adding. Now we need common denominators. Okay, I always write the denominators first. And then I ask myself, what did I multiply 4 by? Just a 1, so I can keep the 3. What did I multiply 2 by? A 2. So I make this a 6. Now I can add the top number, 6 plus 3 is 9, and keep the bottom number, 9 over 4. Okay, so what I have found, and this is part of why I want those rules in front of me so I don't get stuck, what I have just found is how many lentils we need all together. Okay, all together. So what I need to do now, did I change my numbers? No, I'm good. Okay, sorry. I just had to double check that I was doing this correctly. So no, I thought I changed the numbers from the book. Sorry about that. No, I'm good. So I have 9/4 cups all together I needed lentils. So I am going to take my 9/4 and I am going to divide by 1/8. Because that's going to tell me how many 1/8 can go in to 9 over 4. So again, look at those rules. I have division. What do? I multiply, and then I flip this. See, look, I already forgot my number. And then I flip this, and I make it 8 over 1. Okay? Now, I'm multiplying. It's like I added, and then I'm dividing, and then now I'm multiplying. So that's what I mean by you have to really kind of remember your rules. So now I need to remember my rules for multiplication. So I can go straight across, but something that we've been practicing that makes your math so much easier is cross canceling. 8 over 4 leaves me 2 over 1, or think about it like this. 4 goes into itself once, it goes into 8 twice. Now I take the numbers that are left over and I multiply straight across. Okay, so that means I need 18 scoops, or 18 1/8 scoops of lentils. 18 1/8 scoops of lentils. Okay, so I want you right now to look at your notes. Don't even look at the video. Don't look at the video. I know you're probably still looking at me. Don't look at your notes and just listen to me. I'm recapping with you. Okay, so step 1, we added the 2 fractions together. That involved us getting improper fractions, getting common denominators, adding the numerator, keeping the denominator. All those are rules for adding 2 fractions. Then we divided by the 1/8, and we knew it was division because we were trying to put the 1/8 into another value. Then we had to remember our rules for division, which means we really multiply and flip the second fraction. Then we have a multiplication problem, so we have to remember our rules for multiplication. And one of our strategies is cross-canceling, which we did right here. And then our last step was to multiply straight across and reduce that we didn't need to reduce. And then we have to still go back to the problem and remember what the heck we're talking about. Oh yeah, scoops of lentils. Okay? So it's kind of everything involved in that problem. So what I want you to do is I want you to try the Your Turn on page 98. Okay, so pause the video and try the Your Turn. And then I'm going to go over it as soon as you unpause me. Okay, hopefully you paused. So your turn. Before making some soup, a chef mixes 1/2 cup of cream with 3/4 cup of milk. So to find out all the liquids we need in this recipe, we're going to add those just like the last problem. And then this chef, oh, I guess this chef only has a 1/8 cup again. I'm not sure what these people are doing. Why don't they have all their measuring cups? That's okay. 1/8 cup again. So we're going to add these, and then we're going to divide by 1/8. So we want to make these both have common denominators. So 4 over 4, keep your 3. You multiply this by 2, so we're going to multiply this by 2. Then we add the top numbers. We keep the bottom number. This is how much liquid we have in this entire recipe. And then this wonderful chef only has a 1/8, so we got to divide by 1/8, which is really multiplying by 8 over 1. Okay, so hopefully you got that far. Check your paper. Make sure you're still with me. Then we cross multiply. 4 goes into itself once. It goes into 8 twice. I multiply what's left. 5 times 2 is 10. 1 times 1 is 1. And then I got to remember what I'm talking about. We are no longer talking about lentils. We are talking about 10 1/8 scoops. In this case, it's of liquid. Okay? Hopefully you got that right. Like I said, if you did not, start trying some of those other problems. See how far you get, and email me if you have any questions. Okay? Good luck.